Internet, welcome back to that Silverline Show on Tuesday. I am realizing I'm wearing an inappropriate shirt, so I'll do this real quick. I may turn my camera off a second, throw on a hoodie. If you're listening at home on audio services, don't worry about it.
Right? But if you're watching, just know that Tim likes ironic humor.
Yeah. Anyway, tonight we'll be getting into Irish comic characters. However, before getting into that, we were just talking about how stoked we were for a multimedia tie-in event that's happening right now, which is currently Maul, which is happening in the Marvel Comics, leading into the Maul series happening on Disney later this year, featuring Sam Witwer, who is a favorite amongst us here.
Dude, absolutely.
And, yes, so good. I'll let you riff about that for a second while I find my hoodie.
Maul, come on. Have you seen the trailer for it?
Oh, I have not. And now I have homework.
Are you a fan of Star Wars Clone Wars?
You don't have to lie. Want to be? No, see, here's the thing. There are so many shows out there that I need to watch. It's in a queue. I feel like I deserve credit because it's in my queue. I will get to it probably around the time I reach retirement, but the fact that it's in my queue means something.
Right? That counts,
the
right?
spirit is willing, yes.
So Clone Wars, I thought were fantastic. I watched them up to a certain point, then I stopped for some reason. I think it was probably because I went to art school or something. And then better, Tim. And then I started watching Star Wars Rebels, which I absolutely love. Right. And then I went back and continued the rest of Clone Wars. So to have Maul back by the voice actor who did his voice, and just when he was asked to do just to be part of Star Wars, everything, you know what I mean? Like he wowed them just by his knowledge of what he knows as a fan and just a huge lover of Star Wars. So like, A, you can't go wrong with that. And two, it's Darth Maul.
Yeah.
That is kind of a pretty large counter argument to pretty much any argument that exists in any frame.
Right.
Yeah. When I went to pick up the first issue of the Maul series, I got talking with the guy TJ who owns the shop, and it's been like Maul, like as a character, you can't go wrong with as long as he's a murder blender. Like as long as he is still the murder blender, then it's gonna be a good storyline.
Right.
Huh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so when you get time, Brent, at least bare minimum, you darn right it is. But yeah, when you get time, go and watch the trailer. It's exciting.
Okay. When does it drop?
April something.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So coming up.
Huh. I'm assuming it's animated.
Yes.
Like CGI animated. Just as the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
Yep. So if nothing else, mandatory watching is the Maul Mandalorian arc, and then the Battle for Coruscant.
Yeah.
From Clone Wars. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, Disney Plus is very nice in that they actually, what's it called? They will cobble together a series of must-see episodes that you should watch in preparation for a particular. I think they did that when they dropped Ahsoka, which I found very helpful. So they curated. That's what I'm trying to say. They curated an episode list. So maybe they'll do the same thing for Maul.
Maybe.
I'd hope so. I think so, because Maul is a fan favorite character, clearly, and that's what they're using to kind of continue the soft reboot they're doing after Andor season 2,
right?
Star Wars content. So,
which I am halfway through, by the way.
I don't think I've watched Andor season 2 yet.
I need to watch it as well. But as Andor season 1, I think was my favorite piece of Star Wars media in a long while.
I thought it was pretty good. I love the tie-in that came like at the end, you know, the kind of like slight, like like was it reveal, the slight little reveal. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, oh,
yeah.
I remember watching it and going, I feel like I've almost leveled up as an adult, because I used to think the scariest thing about the Star Wars franchise was the Sith. Now it's actually the Empire. When Andor is arrested for being in the wrong place at the wrong time and sent to prison without like suspension of judicial process in human rights, that's actually more scary than a guy who wears a cape and carries a lightsaber.
Yeah, and I also did it really well in the books too. Like I just finished reading Lords of the Sith, which is essentially, if you want a book that is about it's a manhunt story, but it's why you should be afraid of both Vader and Palpatine, as well as the Imperial system as a whole, because it goes over the occupation of Ryloth. And what's really scary is they do a really good job of helping you understand, like, everyone who is like in a point of high command in the Empire thinks they're doing the right thing. Like, yes, this is how we bring order and stability to the galaxy. Like, this is how we bring peace.
Right. Tommy, I think Darth Maul's Irish.
Could be.
By the way, Tommy, it says Silverline on my hat.
Yes. And speaking of which, my friend local comic shop is having a buy one get one Funko sale this weekend, so I'll be I'll be over there.
We're gonna see an entirely different decor behind Tim next week.
Yeah. It's kind of up there, but yeah, we have.
It's gonna be all new rows of Funko Pops.
They already have that, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We figured kind of doing like a. We already have like a new Brownstorm backdrop, so yeah, it's the Firescape, and it's just Marvel and DC characters from.
That's awesome.
Okay. So yes, we are talking about Irish comic characters because St. Paddy's Day is a thing. Don't really celebrate all that much, despite being 85% Irish American.
I mean, Irish people are basically Mexicans, right? They drink beer, eat tacos, or drink beer and eat something.
Yeah, you can get an Irish taco. Essentially, it is still like a taco shell, but it's instead of beef or chicken and cilantro, it's corned beef and slaw. It is an actual thing. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. My wife made corned beef and cabbage, and that's one of my absolute favorite meals. I nailed it.
Put that in a corn tortilla, and you got yourself an Irish taco.
Right?
Would they prefer corn over flour, though? I'm not Irish. I don't have stake in this fight. No. So,
I think, well, the years of poverty are behind us, so now it's on to just finding like the best food, because that's what differentiates Ireland from the English, is we actually care about what our food tastes like.
That's true. The British invented blood sausage. That pretty much kicks them all the way to the bottom. Yeah.
They have, what is it called? I had it, and I had to question Pete. Yorkshire pudding.
Yes.
For the record, people, it's not pudding. It's bread. But it's made with like 3 ingredients, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Lucky Leprechaun. I mean, he's have a comic book too. That's a deep cut from Tommy. I mean, so you gotta get a crossover between Lucky Leprechaun, the Captain, and whatever food-related comic mascot that's been put together.
Are you suggesting Captain Crutch was Irish?
No, but I'm saying if we do a team up, like that's the team I'm coming up so far. Yeah. Maybe we'll have to do an episode later in the year that's just on
Captain Crunch would be like the Captain Nemo from League of Distinguished Gentlemen, or League of
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Extraordinary Gentlemen, that's what it was. I was there.
I don't know. I'm already writing it in my mind, and for some reason, Captain Crunch starts out like Captain Crunch, but eventually sounds like Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
It's rough on the high seas, man. That's
Yeah.
Nope.
Let me tell you what to do with your purple hearts.
Give me a moment. I tripped my outfit.
Oh, at least your computer's still working.
Oh, I mean, laptop.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you
give me a
go.
minute.
All sorts of fun things happening tonight. Anyway, well, I guess, yeah, getting into the show.
I don't know. This might not take as long as you think. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, so the first one that always comes to my mind, because I'm, an X-Men nerd, I have a Deadpool model on my shirt. Yes. Or the Cassidy family from X-Men. Sean Cassidy as Banshee, of course, Sister Teresa, and their cousin Black Tom, who I actually really enjoyed his redemption in Krakoa, and I'm hoping that they do more with him in the near future because I thought that Ben Piercy did a really good job of writing him in X-Force.
I don't know anything about this. Black Tom is a good guy now?
He was for a little bit in the Krakoa era, as good as the X-Force was at that moment. X-Force had 3 good people on it, which were Domino, Wolverine, and Quentin. But but that's also when he saw Beast become. What if war crimes were acceptable?
Right.
Although that is also, they're doing more with that now, because originally that was kind of like everyone felt it was kind of weird, Beast being very war crimey, but now they're doing something cool with that, and that they have got Young Beast back, and Beast from Krakoa is currently the villain at the head of an organization called 3K with Cassandra Nova. So you have Beasts fighting each other.
Wow.
Yes.
I just want to put it out there. Yet another reason I'm not reading Marvel right now.
I'm liking the X-Men stuff. Jed McKay's doing a really good job.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it.
But yeah, the some of the stuff that came out of Krakoa is like a little, like Hickman did a really good stuff. Gary Duggan did really good with like his mainline run, but the side series got a little wonky after a point. Ben Piercy's X-Force was, at least it was like through, like it had a steady through line and was like
I'm just
this
saying,
is
man.
a dark take on it, but it is consistent.
Jamie Maddox thoroughly using and appreciating and happily enjoying the respawn point.
Yeah.
That just
okay.
Yeah.
Jamie Maddox is the crazy brother of Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so
When he realized that you can respawn, he just went on and was like hedonistic about everything and did no problem doing stupid crowd to die and just, I'm gonna be respawned anyway.
Oh, okay.
That's I did like what they did, because they did something really interesting when they did X of Swords, where he became King of Avalon, which is in not Elseworld, but their version of Elseworld, if that's what it's called.
It's
where
it's the magic realm. It's the magic realm where Excalibur came from, where Merlin went to.
Yeah. But yeah, if you die there, you don't come back, right? So he became being King of the Fairies became a downgrade for him.
Right.
That is very witty the way he handled that, but yeah.
Yeah, and that was weird because Shiro became a dragon.
That
was just awkward.
Yeah.
Who did?
Shiro, okay, so somehow down the line, Jubilee ends up with a kid. I don't think it's her kid. I think it's somebody else's kid.
Yeah.
But she ends up with a kid. While she was a vampire, by the way, Jubilee became a vampire during, what was that? Necrotia?
Necrotia,
yeah.
Yeah. I was getting there.
Yeah. Siren. That's Siren.
Yeah. And instead of being cured, she's like, no, I'm good. I'm good being a vampire.
Okay.
Eventually Wolverine slaps her out of it, but
yeah.
Okay.
But she carried her along the powers for like a minute, like a good year or two at least.
Was it?
No, she was still a vampire during the Blood Hunters story where everything went black, where the
A Blood
sun.
Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she became a vampire again during Blood Hunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she was and so they're tying that in with the current storyline where Elsa Bloodstone is putting together a League of Monsters, and Morbius is in it, and Jubilee's like, I am this. You just can't keep happening,
right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, Bloodstone is such a great character. Like, just she is definitely a '90s character
for sure. I mean, Werewolf by Night was a good movie though.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was insane. Anyway, not to get too far off track, but Black Tom Cassidy, as handled by Ben Piercy. They do keep him very weird, but also very Irish, which I appreciate. That during that arc, because his mutant ability is he can channel through vegetation, plants, and wood. So Krakoa being a living island, he becomes very important in terms of like the defense of the island, and that he can literally communicate with it at all times.
Right.
And so they pull him into X-Force, and the way they handle his character, and like they actually delve into sort of how he feels that Sean and Teresa have either abandoned him or betrayed him, coming out of like impoverished upbringing, all this other stuff. And then having that moment of like, yeah, I did drastic changes. I did some bad things, but I was always like, I came up in a situation I needed to look up for myself. So that's what I just kept on doing. And they made the character very real, made him a person, and not just kind of a, two-dimensional classic villain that foil that kind of a lot of villains were before. And then they have some fun moments where the Beast is doing stuff, and you have Black Tom, known for doing war crimes with Juggernaut in the past, kind of like, hey, Beast, I'm not sure I feel about this.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's real odd to see him take the moral high ground.
Black Tom taking the moral high ground. Who knows?
Well, it's got to get to the point where he's like, yeah, I mean, I need vegetation, man. Like, the world needs to live. It talks to me. What you doing? But yeah, on the other side of that, though, you have very classic and long-running good guys, Sean and Teresa Cassidy. And they've had a few storylines, but I don't think they've ever dealt as deep into them being Irish characters beyond just kind of like the standard they are.
The brogue occasionally.
Yeah, we haven't got like a proper like Irish mythology, Irish history storyline with them. But I kind of wish that's something that we would get. Because then you got a character like this is gonna be super weird, but a side character who got more of like a historical leaning storyline, but has kind of gone missing, has been not a whole lot, was Shamrock in Marvel Contest of Champions for like a hot minute.
Right. I think I remember this.
Yeah, their storyline, their power was Luck of the Irish, so a little weird, but sure. But at least they had like villains pulled from Irish mythology, right?
Why don't I remember Shamrock? That
Shamrock from is the handbook of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
I think Shamrock is mentioned in there. I don't think I ever read the story that Shamrock is.
She's in there for like a hot minute. Yeah, did some stuff with Excalibur, and then like promptly just disappeared off.
Yeah.
Well, that's just weird.
Yeah.
There aren't any Swedish superheroes, are there?
Let's find out.
I mean,
is that the next show?
Yeah, I mean there is Thor.
That's Norwegian. Yeah,
that's Norwegian.
The current iteration of Thor, the mortal Thor, is a man from Sweden living in New York, possessed by Thor.
Oh,
because they actually did. Unlike Irish mythology, which I wish more comics would do some cool stuff with. I'll get into DC actually doing cool stuff with it. I wish the most recent Thor stuff actually did some cool stuff with Norse mythology beyond just Thor, big hammerman. They actually got into the cycle of Ragnarok beyond like the previous mentions of it, where they actually talk about like Ragnarok is cyclical, so therefore it always happens. The only way it can stop is if Thor and Jormungandr both die at the same time. And so Thor has Loki help him essentially die to end the cycle of Ragnarok. And now there is a Swedish construction worker with a hammer who is just a mortal guy in New York. However, he's possessed by the soul of Thor, as far as we know.
I want to see the Swedish chef carrying Mjolnir.
Yes.
That needs to happen.
Wacka, wacka.
That would be outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the girl with the dragon tattoo also, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work IKEA in there somewhere.
All right. So getting into the DC side of things, the kind of weird side fact: John Constantine. He's
Irish.
He's English born. However, his family came from Ireland, and so has a lot of ties to Irish mysticism.
Interesting.
And so that's when you get so that's when we get into the things like the Dangerous Habits storyline. Which essentially is I mean, he finally gets cancer from smoking.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there's a little bit of dark humor to it, but it's him making dealings with demons from Irish mythology in order to try and cure himself. And so it ties a lot into like Catholic guilt and explores other elements of sort of the quasi like mysticism religious hybrid that happens in some like more rural areas of Ireland, where like they like old mythology has combined with new Catholicism. And so
was this in the Constantine book? Or...
This was in Hellblazer.
Hellblazer. Okay. Remember?
Wasn't Silver Banshee? Wasn't Silver Banshee Irish?
I believe so.
Her name was, I could never say her name right before. I was like, who is Siobhan? It's Siobhan.
Siobhan, yeah.
I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I couldn't even.
Yes. Siobhan McDougal.
Yeah, I didn't remember her last name, but man, that was pretty much a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tale for people who are unfamiliar with Irish names. Is that if there's like too many consonants or too many syllables that are pronounced as one single syllable or as like a different consonant altogether, that's it. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, you had Siobhan McDougal, who was essentially from like a cursed clan dealing with some weirder parts of Irish mythology, and that they like there's a bunch of weird things like first daughters or like lost kids, you know, classic stuff. Like, but if you had the Lucky the Leprechaun, it would actually be a horror character if it was done accurately in comics, because with the Leprechaun, it's a tale that like if you're, you know, there's a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. So if you're a child that goes wandering out in the woods looking for things you shouldn't be looking for, a leprechaun will come and steal you. Will take your tongue or your teeth and return you when you're of age.
Yep.
He returns your teeth or your tongue to you when you come of age?
Nope. you just get you lose that, but then you get returned back to your family when you're older. Because you have to spend your life as a fairy.
Was Ron Sinclair Irish?
Where?
That's Wolfsbane from in Marvel.
Oh,
I don't think
I'm not sure.
Scottish. Or wait a minute. No, she was related. No, she wasn't.
I don't remember.
She's Scottish.
Scottish, okay.
Yeah, she was Scottish.
Yeah.
Aren't they the same thing? Just kidding, internet. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. Listen, I totally understand that. I totally get that. There are factions of Latinos that don't like to be called the other faction of Latinos.
If you call an Argentinian Chilean, or if like you call a Guatemalan Puerto Rican, like it's gonna be a fight.
Right? Someone is throwing hands. That's what I'm just saying. I would imagine it's the same principle. Although they all like to drink.
Huh. Well.
And almost everybody's drinking a Guinness anyway. So.
Huh. Well.
Okay. Well, here's something that's very like on the nose. Irish mythos, which is it's it should be slain, but it's a pun on slain on 2000 AD. But it's one of those things again where they take a kind of Irish word and wrote it out to look like slain, but the way there's an accent that things come together, it should be slain.
Okay.
It's kind of like Irish Conan. Pretty much, but it's inspired by the Irish creation mythos, kind of like how you have the mythos of Thor, Odin, Ragnarok, and all that stuff in Irish mythos. There's very similar like stuff because a lot of Celtic and Nordic things all kind of came around the same time. However, Celtic mythology ended up going far to the left at some point, whereas all the Germanics became Nordic-ish, Odin and Woden and all that. But in the Celtic side of things, particularly in Ireland, the version of like a Thor, like a hero god, is Cuchulainn, who similarly dies stabbing the eye of the demon god Balor in the end of days. But it does. But so this guy is a warrior who's banished from his tribe, wanders the wilderness, fighting monsters and saving villages. Very Conan-ish, but
you said slain from 2000 AD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a wild book.
I mean, the art is.
It's the dude
it has a range, but yeah.
The dude that did was it Lobo?
Yeah.
What's his name? I know he did Lobo covers in some of the pages, right? Quite a few of the pages, actually.
Yeah.
Simon Beasley. Yeah.
Ahead and do this here.
Yeah, that's a wild book.
I want to show some of this art because it is nutty.
Did you bring up some of the pages?
Yeah. Well, not interior, but at least like this cover, because like.
Which one? Which one, Tim? Which cover is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a kid in the 90s, are you not picking that up? Like.
I need to do an homage to that cover next time I do a Cray cover. I'm just saying.
Yeah, dude.
That's wild. There's some pretty interesting Irish characters. When I was saying, I mentioned was it what did I say? Silver Banshee.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like that character. I like her design.
Yeah.
And then I have a couple for Swedish Day when we start talking about Swedish comic characters because Brett brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually know of any. So
yeah.
You might.
But you're also getting into more of just like the Irish American identity of stuff. Garth Ennis, of course. Stuff, but he is an Irish.
I was gonna say
he's Irish American. Yeah,
yeah.
He born in Ireland, moved to America. And so his book, Preacher, which also became a TV show, about the like priest in the West.
Oh yes.
He's an Irish Catholic priest.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and
Cassidy. Yeah. Cassidy, that story is amazing.
Yes. And he embodies the tropes of vampirism, Irish kind of the Irish understanding of vampirism, because again, Dracula, also a product of Ireland,
yep,
was more of like a social commentary than anything really.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so a lot of our storytelling, Irish characters, like you'll notice tropes across the board that kind of match up with like the modern understanding of Dracula is like, oh, this is actually just like a trope that Irish people used for weird people.
Huh.
Weird people. That would be us, by the way, guys. Just so you know, we're the weird people. Does that make us Irish? Does that make us all Irish? Tim, did you call Irish people weird?
I mean, my birth name was almost Eamon Seamus McGill the third.
What?
The third? There's two people before me with that name.
Right?
Can you say that again?
Eamon Seamus McGill the third.
And this is...
I'm never calling you Tim again. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Seamus.
Yeah,
right?
That was my on my mom's side. That was my grandfather and great grandfather's names.
That's. I mean, listen, it's long. That's longer than mine. I mean, I'm Jose Aquifuentes the third, right?
Yeah,
that's long. But when people ask me, it's like, oh, like what's your full name? Rodriguez Benavides Jimenez Garcia de la Rosa the third. That's what I tell people, and they're just like, I'm like, dude, you know how long it took me to memorize that? Yeah, that's wild.
I'm Brent.
Brent. That's it.
Yes. By the time you get to the end of Larson, you've pretty much forgotten it.
Yeah. I guess also part of like the point of this episode is to point out that like there hasn't been a whole lot of despite everyone in America claiming to be Irish American. I mean, I feel like I'm calling the pot calling it black, but then also like you heard what would have been my birth name if not for timely intervention from my dad's side. But it is weird given how prevalent the cultural identity is, and also like how deep the mythology goes. Like not just in like the creation and warrior myths like Cuchulainn and Baelor, but also in the like freaking Dracula and all these other monster things that came from it. The Selkie, and also I'm blanking on its name.
That's right.
Yeah, and the Headless Horseman is actually based off an Irish myth, which is the Dullahan. There it is. The Dullahan.
That's the Irish Headless Horseman.
Yeah, which is also much more terrifying. Because it is a rider that goes around carrying its head in its hands. But
His own head.
Yes, it also carries and also it uses its head like a lantern, so it'll be light coming out of its mouth and eyes.
Lit up face, lit up head.
Yes,
and a shillelagh.
It uses a spine as its riding crop.
What?
And they'll be peaceful because they mostly just kind of like partly fairy souls, partly just like guide other monsters through the night. However, if you stare at it for too long or if you cross it, it will behead you with its spine.
Yeah, I don't think Disney was going to go that route with Ichabod Crane.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Right? Missed opportunity.
Yeah. They really could have turned that into a ride of some kind, I'm sure.
I mean, no, I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Doulahan.
So Tim, being evidently the only Irish dude amongst our group here tonight, do you feel that Irish, the Irish culture, the Irish mythos is properly represented in comic books?
I don't think so. I mean, we have Schlein, which you've seen the art; it's insane. But also, it gets into the mythos of Cuchulainn, lightly inspired by it. So I would recommend that one for sure. But other than that, it doesn't really get captured a whole lot. The next closest thing would be Sandman, because they have that arc where they're in the realm of the Fae.
Yes,
and that is based off the Irish understanding of fairies. Again, that they're that the she and the unshi are actually like dangerous, alien, very like motivated by things we can't understand type creatures. Not necessarily
not
cute
the
fairies.
frivolous, the frivolous like Sealy and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
the was it popularized take on the Fae?
Yeah, because even like the good Fae, like Queen Titania, is still like more or less a monstrosity.
Yeah,
that and it's more or less you do this. What keeps them good is they pass power back and forth from summer to winter, but don't really which keeps them from more or less enslaving and manipulating everyone else.
right.
I guess actually the Dresden comics or Dresden Files are now also comics to an extent. I don't know if they're fully caught up. I think there's like up to a point. And I think they also cover some of the storylines that deal with the she and the unshi there. So that would also get into some of it. But yeah. Let's see. Dresden Files.
I thought because you had mentioned Dresden comics before. Like I thought that was something new, but no, that's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, kind of, yeah. Okay. Let's do. This is kind of more what I'm talking about.
You're gonna have an all Irish superhero team. Yes.
Yeah. It's like kind of that more so that's kind of understanding for you. That's I think that's Puck. And then they can choose to be
pretty
if they wish, but typically more so doing like fairies that are actively trying to either murder you or manipulate you.
That's the ones from Dresden?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Also, Minotaurs and like not Minotaurs, I can't remember their name, but essentially they're goatmen. Those are also a form of fairy in Irish mythology. What?
Satyrs?
Yeah, satyrs, yeah. But yeah. Technically that's a type of fae. And so the idea is that if you do a fairy run, or if you renege on a deal with a fairy, you're gonna be beaten to death by a satyr.
That's a pretty big premise in regards to like deals and contracts with the Fae in Changeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the thing like Irish mythology, a lot of it comes from is like a lot of it came from tales told to keep their like the trope of telling tales kids to keep them in bed came from German and Irish mythology, like their fairy tales.
I'll tell you, like we used to tell our kids, like you need to go to bed. Like if you don't go to bed, Kukui's gonna get you.
Who?
Kukui. Kukui is the bad boogeyman that comes and takes you because you don't listen to your parents.
Mhm.
Where's Kukui from?
That's Latin culture, Latin
Yeah.
mythology.
Wasn't it also like La Chupacabra came from like telling your kids not to pick up stray animals? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the chupacabra will eat you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so similarly, like you learned like not to renege on deal with the fairy because you shouldn't do that to people.
La Llorona was don't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then don't go looking out the woods because a leprechaun will steal you and take your ton. The Selkie and Sirens were don't go swimming when your parents can't see you because
the Selkies will take you.
Yeah.
They'll drag you into the water.
Huh.
Because they were beautiful and you want to follow them and they attracted you and pulled you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got to the water, they drowned you.
Yeah. One of our players, I'm actually running a game of the Marvel Multiverse RPG right now. And one of our players is a mutant who is they're extremophile, so they appear like a seal essentially. So their code name is Selkie, but essentially they're just a seal with super strength.
Nice. Yeah, we played. A friend of mine ran, and me and one of my friends were basically playing buddy cop.
Nice.
And we kind of sort of based it off the other guys, right? Like
nice.
the movie Mark Wahlberg, and just because we just made it like funny. But I played basically a Venom type character.
Oh yeah.
Agent Venom.
Nice.
And he basically played Johnny Blaze.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, actually, speaking of the cross-cultural connection at the front, so they're a player from Hispanic family, and so their character's name is Mateo, and they're also the Selkie. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Someone's getting drowned or eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Perfect.
Yeah. I don't know why our parents thought the worst thing they could do to us is tell us something's going to eat us,
right,
or take us away.
Yeah.
Sleep tight.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I think it's because coming from like far, like when that happened, like the idea, like if you're a kid that got separated from your family, like you were probably just going to die or never be heard from again. Like that's also why like the stories of like the finding out that you're a prince or princess, like a lot abandoned, was also like very prevalent type stories that was like the hope is that if you got lost from your parents, either hopefully you're nobility or you're just dead.
Right. I mean, what was it? Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah.
The witch is going to eat you?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Baba Yaga? The witch is going to eat you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were obsessed as a race. As like
yeah. Eating people it's just
right?
not recommended. Like we're not terribly appetizing. We smell bad. Like
you would think, right? Doesn't Krampus steal kids and eat them?
Mm-hmm.
I know steals kids, right? Krampus takes kids when they're bad kids.
Yeah, Krampus is the depending on the understanding mythology, either they take kids and punch them and trap them in a snow globe, or they scare kids until they're good the next year. And so that
would be even creepier. Like scare the kids until they're good. What if the one night doesn't do it, and so you just scare them throughout the rest of the year? Like
essentially, yeah.
Peeking around the corner, you got Krampus like.
Until eventually the kid realizes, you know what? I think he'd rather just be bad, and then Krampus has to love him up. Yeah,
I think that the two kind of got combined also in this understanding of from the start of like the winter season that if you haven't been good that year, then Krampus will come and terrify you every day and every night, and you have to be good by Christmas, otherwise you get put in the snow globe.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see that you can't terrorize someone every day for a year. Eventually, they won't be terrorized anymore.
No. Depends. Escalation. There's escalation. I think you could do it.
I don't know. That sounds like the origin story of some savior kid.
And you're not taking notes? I don't understand what's going on here.
I know.
Huh.
Like, we're dropping gold here, Brent.
He started out a little.
We're gonna have like several pitches, and just Roland's gonna be like, "No, stop, stop bringing those."
Yes.
But hear me out, Hefe.
For the Christmas special,
Right?
we'll be doing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then also you get kind of into like the interesting side of things. Speaking of like weird Christmas witches, you have a character in our trilogy called Unkayak.
Say it again.
Unkayak. But they're essentially like they're a creator god, but they're a hag, a witch thing that always wears a veil, and associated with winter and kind of creating things during the snowy season or whatever. So they'd be the ones that bring snow into the world or whatever. And if you're a kid that got separated from a family or that kind of deal, like if you were like your relation to them or whatever, they would scare the crap out of you to get you back to your family, essentially.
So they were being magnanimous.
They're like, yeah, there are a lot of witches in Irish mythology are very complex. Like they're not necessarily like just going to eat you. They're going to like, a lot of them are also healers in some way or related to like bestowing boons on gods and whatever. Or like you like the Morrigan, for essentially, was like a goddess of death, but also of war and victory. So kind of weird. But then
pastries too. So.
Yeah, but then it also like, do you get looking like the cultural impact of like origins of that, and that comes from like the origin of midwifery. A lot of it, like the understanding of that practice, like comes from medieval times, and a lot of it happened in Ireland, where the idea of like the wise woman or the wise witch was the woman who was a herbal healer who would come in and help deliver children.
Well, she wasn't considered a witch until after something bad happened. Then all of a sudden she was. Yeah. Other than that, she was the elder of like the tribe or the village or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's where you got like the like there's like a term was like the wise woman, where like the council of elder women who would come in and like
it was a group, like it would be a group of like 2 or 3 elder or female elders of a village that would come in and deliver babies, and everyone else had to get out. And so all of a sudden we went from like bleeding mothers to no longer bleeding anymore, and then people were like, sorcery.
Right? They delivered a kid and the mother survived. It's magic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild, like the history of midwifery and just like the way it went from being like I said, a honored person in the tribe to propaganda and witch, you know what I mean? Like now you must die.
Right. I figured you'd have some insight on that one, Jose.
I sure do.
But yeah, that is it's a prominent part of Irish witch mythology. Understanding of like, like if you're a mother who is having a rough pregnancy, like you might like do a ritual or pray to the Morrigan or to like Queen Titania or oh god, who was the Winter Queen? Anyway, one of them, and be like, like I either need a witch or a fairy to like, and that's also like where like the first born child getting stolen by the Banshees or stolen by the Fae. It was like this pregnancy is so hard. Like if you let me have more kids after this, I'll give you this one. Yeah.
Giving up your first kid.
Wow.
See, couldn't happen to my mama because she was in a coma when I was born. So
there you go.
couldn't make the deal.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Mom. Love you. But that's wild. That seriously, like, just because I know there's an entire thing of for was it Medieval Spawn that focused on the Fae being killed off. Yeah. And Medieval Spawn had to figure out what was happening. I think that incorporated That was with also like it was a tie-in with More Than Mortal. It was like like Irish. I think it was an Irish like warrior female something in Image. I think I want to say it looked like Witchblade. Like maybe it was like Witchblade, like female version or past version of Witchblade. I don't remember. I remember the story because I remember trying to read it with the character's dialogue with an Irish accent, and that's just odd.
Yeah.
Huh. Irish accents are kind of hard to pull off anyway.
I mean, it is for me. I can't do accents to save my life.
Yeah. I like I've been so like far removed from like the family members that came over and like it spoke Gaelic that like I can't really like get too deep into like staying it for a whole on. And I know like a few phrases, but they're mostly like the standard ones that kind of get tossed around in Irish households.
Such as?
Sure did. It went yes. My surge protector blew for a second, and I had to reset it.
Tame, which is essentially let's go or like we're going. Or Flockenbach, which is actually a battle cry.
Say you better watch your mouth.
Yeah, but so the kind of same way that like families will say up and at 'em now when that came from World War One, like the English yelling like get up over the trench and charge.
Right.
Flockenbach was a Celtic variation, like or an Irish battle cry that doesn't mean clear away, but the idea like you were clearing a way through the enemy, like literally cleaving through them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Flockenbach?
Flockenbach.
Flockenbach. Huh.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, we Swedes don't have an equivalent. We're more just like, you just do your thing. We'll just stay back here and make our pancakes.
Make our pancakes.
There you go. Let me give you this one.
Listen, Ireland is on my list. It's on my wife's list to go visit. I have tried to get into a couple Irish conventions.
Oh yeah.
Because if I make that happen, I lock that in. Oh man, the wife is already like, listen, if you do that, we are going like hands down.
Huh.
Clear the way.
Flockenbach.
Yeah, Flockenbach. Yeah.
Bella.
Yeah. So it came like from like traditional Gaelic, but it got popular in the West because of the volunteer regiment of Irish troops in the Union. During oh man, what was it? Was it Mary's Falls? This would be something that Roland would know. But there was a unit where no, that's the actual Irish Civil War, not the one. I need the American Civil War. But there was a group of a couple different regiments of volunteer units from Ireland that came over. Most of them fought on the Union side because the connection to New York and all that. But there's also some that fought on the Confederate side. And the idea with those is they're fighting there to learn their tactics to take back to Ireland to fight the English.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think it was Mary's Falls. And there's a moment where you had where Irish troops from the Union assaulted a position that's held by Irish troops from the Confederacy. And it went very poorly for the Union troops because they're kind of disabused by the leadership. Both sides did not think high of Irish at the time. But essentially they were like down to a third of their fighting strength, and they're like, no, you guys gotta go storm go storm the hill.
Huh. I feel like that battle would be a iconic mix of like the fight scenes from freaking Braveheart and Monty Python when Arthur was trying to get the French people were yelling from the roof top of the thing. Mix that together, and that would be how that Irish on Irish fight would be.
Yeah, well, essentially, because like the Union side knew that they didn't have the manpower or the firepower to actually like fight a proper battle to not do like they couldn't do a stand up fight, fire information, move up, fire information, move
Right.
up. So they essentially just fixed bayonets and charged the entire line of the field, yelling "Fog and Bach." It didn't go well for them at the end, but they did get into a melee. So for whatever reason, like something else went their way, they could have pulled it off, but So
wow.
yeah, so then that became a phrase for Irish parents to yell at their kids when either they needed to get through the house or tell them to go like move, go push. You're in a crowded Walmart.
Wow. I feel like that's something I could use.
Right. I feel also probably like we were talking about Irish comic characters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure every flipping police officer in every comic book is an Irish police officer, like hands down. And I don't mean that again, don't mean it derogatorily, but like, I mean, when there's a stereotype,
it's
right forever, and there's a huge stereotype and probably based off facts. I'll be honest, it's probably based off facts of Irish police officers in comic books, you know.
And that's not even like you can get into like the whole story of like the gangs of New York and like the idea like a lot of them viewed Irish cops as like race traders essentially. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're working for the guy who's not giving us rent. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that needed to be said as well.
There's a whole history to it, yeah, and it's definitely. I mean, we got Detective Bullock from Batman, who long running, going from weird side antagonist to supporting character, now like a reluctant ally.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he have his own book? I thought he had his own story for like a minute.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now in the Batman comics, Vandal Savage is commissioner of Gotham PD.
Lord.
So Gordon got busted down back to sergeant, and Bullock started his own PI agency, and they're both kind of funneling information to Batman.
And then what? Sam and Twitch from Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure the bigger dude is Irish.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. See, lots of Irish people in comic books.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too on the nose stereotype, but you know.
I mean, it's the equivalent of Kyle Rayner giving a bag of tamales. You can't escape it.
That will be discussed in September when it's National Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's not a solid month. It's a half month here and a half month here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really?
We'll
yeah. Yeah, we have like different things, right? You have, Pride Month, which is a whole solid month, and you have Black History Month, which is a whole solid month, and there's several others. What was it? I just drew blank on some. But anyway, National Hispanic Heritage Month is 2 weeks in September, 2 weeks in October.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And like what Tim was referring to was it was last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before.
Like one of the first, I feel it was one of the first comic books, DC Comics, giving attention to, National Hispanic Heritage Month. And it was Kyle Rayner, like in the air on something like an asteroid or whatever. He's holding a Mexican flag, holding a bag of tamales.
Yeah.
They ended up like, I think that came out, all the advertisement images for that came out. And I guess somebody or some people complained about it because they went back and revamped it and turned it into a lantern in his hand instead of a bag of tamales.
Yeah,
the bag of tamales were awesome. Like, what are you talking about?
I think people just felt low because it's based off of like an actual painting from like the Mexican Revolution.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Postmodern painting.
Yeah.
Like that, or Art Deco or whatever it was.
Yeah.
What it was based off of. But
yeah. And so, like, something compared, like this would be the French equivalent if you gave Lady Victory a baguette in the picture where she's holding like over the dead like soldiers at the Bastille. Or, like, maybe we should like.
I thought it was fantastic.
It's
like,
it's one of those things where, like,
I wish I could have found a copy of it because I would still be holding on to it. That's how much I love that cover.
Yeah, if you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. It's a very mixed reception. Yeah. But yeah,
it got so much flack for it.
Huh.
I mean, kind of similarly, like something that doesn't talk about, like March is Irish American Heritage Month, but everyone just has distilled it down to St. Patrick's Day.
It's what? The whole entire like month of
the
March?
whole month is Irish American Heritage Month, but no one. It's like, no, it's St. Patrick's Day.
I didn't actually know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm looking at this. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing. No comic book covers. No nothing. Oh man, Tim.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll.
Oh man, Seamus.
We'll put together a hero comic based off Irish mythos and see what that does.
Okay, hold on. I gotta share this.
Oh boy.
Hit the buttons, Joe. Gosh darn it. Yes.
Yes.
That's the cover I'm talking about, Brett.
I was just looking at that. That's crazy.
The tamales were the best touch.
That's the thing too, is I believe it was done by Hispanic artists, so like clearly like they were into it, but I think it's just you know, sometimes you can't win.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's what I'm saying. I like the tamale one better.
Yeah.
But I happen to be one of those Hispanics who can laugh at myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is a gift.
Tommy, you're not allowed to go to bed. Oh, I did go to ShadowCon.
Yeah, how's that?
It was pretty interesting. It was pretty steady.
Okay.
Picked up a commission and whatnot, and had a good time chatting with Tommy, chatting with Roland, making fun of Martin. All in good ways, Martin, I promise. But yeah, it was cool. I think it was actually a few people. It was the first time I got to see them, and a few people I never made it to their table to say hi, and a couple of my friends, it was their first time tabling there. So yeah, it went pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, listen here, buddy. Tommy said I ditched them for after show dinner. I had plans to go have dinner with my daughter who's going to college in Lakeland.
Yeah.
So sorry, Tommy. Gabby trumps my Gabby trumps your Gabby.
All right. Well, this has been That's a Fine Show on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, we're already there?
We are already there.
Holy cow.
And, you know, Tommy talked for 3 hours. Let's get
3 hours.
Schedule pulled up for next week. My cat's going insane.
I think. Am I wrong? Did we have? Oh, the must buy
art books for comics. Yes.
Must buy what?
Night, Tommy.
So we'll be talking about the must-buy art books for comics. So if you're wanting to get into comics and are either still like, maybe you're like in high school and do it, or you're doing self-taught, or you come from a background where you don't necessarily have the funds for college at the moment. The next best thing is doing an actual like structured study plan through books.
Right.
Yes.
And just a hint, it's not just how to draw the marble way.
Yes. There's a lot of them. I'm currently going through the artist drawing book, which is, I like it quite a bit. And it's, it's not comic stuff. It's volume and understanding shape and texture and all that. And
it's a lot, right? It's a lot that you weren't exactly, I don't want to say you weren't expecting, but like, oh, Okay, that's interesting.
And then when you go back and then do something comic booky later, it helps you like better understand the the conceptualization behind everything. It's like, yeah, I mean, I sent you that thing I did of Henry Blackheart.
You did.
From Lost Fantasy. I'm like, I actually like how this turned out. It matches the panel pretty well.
But yeah, like I use art books I got for school, art books I got before school, because I wanted to, obviously I wasn't originally planning on going to art school when I originally started working on comic stuff, but like I wanted to learn more fundamentals, more, what I mean, more of the process. So
yeah, it helps when you have someone
good material, guys.
Oh, I got a box of books I'm gonna bring out in next week.
And Brent, the week after that is our week because that's the best writing book. So that'll be us pulling our collection of.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'll be doing all that. Yeah, because sometimes it helps to read in a page. The best way to draw a nose is to draw the area around the nose and not the actual nose.
Wow.
Huh. Because otherwise you might just be struggling for like an hour and a half on the nose.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh. So we'll be getting on to all of that. And hopefully if you are an artist either aspiring or wanting to brush up on your fundamentals or doing the self-taught thing, we give you some recommendations and guides on,
and
how
if
to
you have
fill out
questions.
Yes. And then the week after that will be for our writers. And by the end of it, you should have racked up a healthy amount of points at Barnes & Noble.
Right? Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see you all next week. But until that time,
make mine Silverline.
Bella.
Hey, this is Paul Pelletier. Make mine Silverline. Is that okay, Roland?